J-Spot Jack Cheese, Cat Pack Comics, MCU movie review week 7? Forgot to check. Iron Man 3. Okay, this is actually my first review, because Iron Man 3 was my very first movie review I did for this. So let's see how much I copy it, I guess, and not on purpose or unknowingly or whatever. All right, I still really like this movie. I am also bummed that it's so well. It's a lot of the Marvel fans hated it. It's actually I was interested just to see like the general consensus, and it does have fairly good reviews from just critics, and I think it was like 80% Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty good. I guess I get that. It's a lot of stuff with the Mandarin. I kind of get it, but I also think people overreacted and were saying the entire movie was shit just because of one thing that they didn't like. And to me it's not a huge deal, and the movie's good enough without it that I still think the movie's great. A lot of that has to do with the inclusion of Shane Black as the writer-director on it, which sadly is probably not going to happen again because of the reception of this. Even though it was the highest grossing Iron Man movie. I feel like because of the fan backlash that probably not going to come back for it. Shane Black is probably one of my favorite contemporary writer-directors. I love his writing style. I love quippy, back and forth action comedies, and he's perfect. He's so good at writing those. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang's one of my favorite movies of all time. The Nice Guys was fantastic. What, you want me to name some more? He did Lethal Weapon. You were Lethal Weapon. Last Boy Scout. But anyways, Iron Man 3 fits right in line with those movies. It's just, instead of, bumbling detectives, it's Tony Stark, it's Iron Man, and it has such a cool way of making him feel like one of those characters while still being like the most brilliant, man ever. Yeah, I really like how little he is in the Iron Man suit too. I think that's like a cool way to do it, and I wonder if that's another thing that maybe a lot of fans didn't like, but I thought it was super cool. Like, it added so much that he was just, and it made it more Shane Blacky that he was just kind of having to improvise. That's what his heroes are like. They're bumbling and improvisational, lucky, kind of dickish hero guys. After his house gets blown up, that's when it really starts to shine for me. I like the movie still before it, the rising action and all that. But yeah, once it gets blown up and he's, I love his relationship with the kid, Harley. Took me a second. I love their relationship. They've got great rapport there. And then when he goes to the bar to meet with the mom of the guy that exploded in that town, and then he gets in that fight with the two superpowered henchmen people, and he has to improvise. He has to think on his feet, which is very Tony Stark, and it's very Shane Black protagonisty. And that I don't know why, but that kind of action is so appealing to me. I love seeing people stumble into defeating people who way overpower and way outmatch them. When he goes in and discovers Ben Kingsley's actor, he breaks into the mansion and stuff, and he like MacGyvers together mini Iron Man powers, like the shocker hand and like the stun gun thing, and all that stuff's really cool. I love that. That is so much cooler to me after seeing Iron Man action for 3 movies. I loved that they just kind of did away with that for the most part. And you still get your climax. You still get your Iron Man climax, just in a little different way. Like, there's all these suits. How can people be mad at that movie when you've got 41 suits all like Iron Man suits all flying around, all doing different stuff. Again, the action in that climax is so entertaining to me, because him like jumping in the or he like jumps off a part of the thing to like get in the suit, and then it gets like swiped away before he can land in it. He keeps trying to get into suits, but he keeps falling out of them and stuff. And one thing is, it's cool to see Pepper like come up and kill the bad guy and stuff, but I just felt like that moment where he sets the Mark 42 to blow up would have been a much better way to actually kill the bad guy, because it's like he's closing. It's the moment when he's like, okay, I need to give up on this thing. I need to give up on the Mark 42, and that's him making the decision like, I need to kind of reset. And I just think it would have been better if that's where it happened. Almost forgot to mention this, but I mentioned before about how Tony is my favorite MCU character because of his character arc, and this is you start to see it a little bit in the Avengers. It's a little more subtle, like traditional, like, oh, I'm selfish, and he's like, oh, I got to work on a team. Oh, I got to be a team player. That's kind of more cliche, but like this, like the fact that they actually tackled him suffering from PTSD is a thing that I would never think to see in a Marvel movie before this. Like, but the fact that they actually make they show his PTSD and they actually make it a part of the story is awesome. I absolutely, I think that's one of the coolest things that Marvel has like incorporated into a story, because it seems so mature, so much more mature than like everything else. Tying in, like referencing it, but not making it seem gratuitous. Like, it makes sense for them to be talking about it that much in the way that they are, and that's another reason that I think the movie is so good. There's got to be stuff I don't like about it, but probably not much. There's no AC/DC, so like, come on, what can you say, really? I guess just the little, the Mandarin thing is a little buggy, but I don't even know if I'd call that a negative, because I almost think it's cooler when you kind of realize at the end, like, oh, Guy Pearce is the Mandarin. Like, that's kind of a cool twist that makes up for it. So I don't even know if the whole Ben Kingsley thing is a negative for me. Let's see. I feel like there's like an actor or two that bugs me in it, but probably not much. I mean, I hate the guy that killed Leo in The Departed, but I just hate him. But it's funny I say that, because I actually kind of like him in this movie. It's like the one thing I do kind of like him in. But he sucks in everything else because he killed Leo in The Departed. I wish I had more negatives than I could think of. Again, it's not perfect. I'm trying to judge these on the basis of like comic book movies. So with that, it's pretty damn good. Iron Man 3. I should have a better lead in than that, shouldn't I? Iron Man 3 is great. So, good. This is where that list is going to get hard. It's 1 or 2. What is it? It's hard to judge movies against it's hard to judge the other movies against the Avengers movies, because it's like, well, it has everybody in it, and also it was really good. I might have to stick with my thought before watching it again was that it was, better than the Avengers, and I think I might have to stick with that. I think I gotta stick with it. I think Iron Man 3 is my new number 1. But Avengers is also very good. It's just, I gotta give it to Iron Man 3. Man, I'm telling you, that was the hardest one so far. Next week is Black Panther. So, I could maybe try to have a better outro than that too. Next week is Black Panther. I guess that's all you're gonna get. I don't know. You got anything? You want me to put you down?